So this routine we're going to start standing, but before we start, just check that you've got your band to hand, as we'll use that at the end. We're going to start with the roll downs. So come to standing and take a few moments to think about your posture. Again, always checking that your alignment is good and that you're not holding on to any pockets of tension, so relaxing the body and the mind. So the same amount of weight through both your legs, with your feet neither turned in nor turned out, and make sure you've got the same amount of weight through the front of your foot as you have through your heel. And have that sense of lengthening up through the inside arch of your foot. Your knees are soft, no tension in your thighs, no tension in your buttocks, a gentle connection with your pelvic floor and your lower abdominals, and your pelvis in neutral. So these hip bones here are facing the front. So feel nice and grounded evenly between both your legs into the floor, and then your spine lengthening away from the pelvis. Your shoulders relaxed, your arms gently lengthening by your side, your neck lengthening away from your shoulders, and your head just balancing on top of your spine. So no tension in your face or your jaw. And as you breathe in, direct your breath to the base of the rib cage, not just up into your shoulders and chest. And as you breathe out, still stay standing nice and tall. We'll do one more breath here before we start. So breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. So breathing in to lengthen through your spine. Breathing out, start your roll down from the top of your neck. If you run out of your out breath, then just breathe naturally. So your upper back, your mid back, keep your knees soft, don't lock your knees, but try and keep straight behind the leg and behind the back of the knees. Just come down as far as you feel comfortable, relaxing your head, relaxing your arms, and focus your breath here into the back of your rib cage. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. So breathing in, as your rib cage expands out to the side, it gently stretches your spine. One more breath here. And then coming up on your out breath, scooping your tummy in, shoulders stay relaxed away from your ears. Just work from the pelvis, get that pelvis all the way back round in neutral. You don't need to come up from your shoulders, and your spine floats up. So breathing in to lengthen through your spine. Breathing out to start your roll down from the top of your neck, rolling your neck down. Don't collapse through the front of your body, so stay scooped in with your abdominals. Coming down as far as you feel comfortable, not locking behind the knee, but keeping straight behind the leg. And stay here for another couple of breaths, getting a good stretch behind the leg and into your spine. And another breath, and coming up on the next out breath. Pulling your tummy in, shoulders stay relaxed. Restacking your spine like a pile of books from the lower part of the spine all the way up to the front. And we'll add some hamstring stretches on the next one. So breathing in to lengthen through your spine. Breathing out, roll your neck down, your upper back. Just come down at your own pace, keeping your focus along your spine. Coming down as far as you feel comfortable. And then bend your knees so you get a bit more of your hand onto the floor than you had before. And then keeping your hand there, very carefully and slowly straighten behind the leg. It doesn't matter if you don't straighten completely. We're going to do 4 little bends and straightens here. So you get a really good strong stretch behind your leg. And then after the 4th, scoop your tummy in and roll yourself up. Getting that pelvis all the way back into neutral and your spine gently lengthening up afterwards. Breathing in to lengthen through your spine. Breathing out, roll your neck down. All the way down. Shoulders still stay relaxed, no tension creeping into your jaw. Come down as far as you feel comfortable. And then bend your knees, you get a bit more of your hand on the floor. And as you bend and straighten your legs, make sure that your knee doesn't turn in or turn out, so it stays in line with the big or second toe. So do 4 of these bends and stretches before you scoop your tummy in and come on up from the pelvis. lower back all the way up. And let's do one more. Breathing in to lengthen through your spine. Breathing out, roll the neck down. All the way mid-back, all the way down. Again, bending your knees. So each time, see if you get a bit more of your hand on the floor, but don't force anything. It depends on how tight you are behind the hamstrings. Do 4 little bends and stretches. And then coming on up, out. On your out breath. If you run out of breath, just breathe. Don't hold your breath. So that's a really great way of loosening up the spine. Let's carry on loosening up our spine and also get another stretch through our legs with the giraffe. So come to standing with your legs as wide as you feel comfortable, making sure you don't stick your bottom out, so keep your pelvis tucked under. And this time you're going to come forward with a flat back. So hinge from these hip creases, come forward with a flat back, and then drop your head and your arms, and you'll come into a slight rounded back now. So let's stay here for a breath or two and get a nice stretch on the inside of the legs, also a little bit on the back of the legs. And just relax your arms, relax your head. Remember, you're not going to shift your weight into one leg, so same weight through both your legs. And rotate your body over your right leg with your left arm coming across and holding onto the outside, and then your right arm coming up to the ceiling, rotating through the rib cage. Stay here for a full breath. See if you can see your fingers up to the ceiling, and then bring that arm down. Both hands come back to the center. Just check that you haven't shifted your weight before you rotate over the left leg with your right arm coming across and holding onto the outside wherever is comfortable, and then bring your left arm up to the ceiling. So you often get different stretches each side. Breathing in here to allow that stretch to take place, then bring that arm down, come back to the center, and then rotate over your right leg again. And we're going to do 2 more on each side. So remember, the rotation is through the rib cage around the spine, staying on each one for a full breath, so you allow that stretch to take place. Bringing your hands back to the center together, just checking you haven't shifted your weight before you go on to the other side. And getting a lovely stretch through the leg. So don't bend either leg as well. So you're getting a stretch through your back, through the rib cage, and through your legs. I'm going to do 1 more each way. So only hold on to the outside of your shin, wherever it's comfortable. So if it's down by your ankle is too strong, and you feel it's too strong, remember you don't have to have it so low. And if one side again is tighter, if you've got any old injuries, hamstring injuries, then again you need to adjust accordingly. Shoulders stay relaxed away from the ears all the time. And then when you've done 3 on each side, come back to the center and just relax here for a couple of breaths. So getting your head and your arms down as much as you can. You can take your legs away a bit further if you want to get a really good stretch here. And then we're going to come back to center. Keep your hands on the floor. You can have your fingertips or the palm of your hands as too strong. You can bend your knees as you bring your feet back to hip width apart if necessary. Then tuck your head under and roll yourself back up. Well done. So now we're going to loosen up the side of our spines with some side bends. So make sure you've got your feet hip width apart. Your shoulders are going to stay relaxed, and breathe in and bring your arm up towards your ear, but your shoulder stays down. And then breathing out, slide the other hand down the outside of your thigh. And this long arm above you, staying nice and straight and stretching this rib cage away from the pelvis. So staying here for a full breath and then pulling in your core, bring your spine back to the center, and then your arm by your side. Then breathing in to bring this arm up. Breathe out, slide your hand down the outside of your thigh, and stay here for a full breath, getting that lovely stretch in the side, and then breathing out, pulling in your core, bring your spine back to the center and bring your arm by your side. Now we're going to add a little extra thing on the next 2. So breathing in to bring your arm up, breathing out, slide this hand down. Now stay here, pull in your core and bring this arm up as well. Shoulders stay relaxed, and then really use your core to come back to the center, and then both arms come back by your side. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out, pulling in your core, come back to the center and your arms by your side. Let's do one more on each side. Breathing in and breathing out. Seeing if you can go a tiny bit further each time, but don't collapse here. Keep your tummy pulled in and then breathe in and breathe out. Pull in your core, come back to the center and your arms by your side. And breathing in and breathing out. A little bit further each time. Pull in your core as you bring your arm up here and then back to the center with the spine and your arms by your side. Great, so with the roll downs we've taken the spine forward. With the giraffe we've got rotation in the spine, and with the side bends we've taken the spine sideways. So those three exercises are really good, loosen up and warm up if you ever want to just do them on your own. Come down onto your mat and we'll get into the relaxation position to do the curl up with salutes again. So come to lying in your relaxation position. Get yourself into good posture, so thinking about your pelvis in neutral, feet and knees hip width apart. And then interlink your fingers behind your neck, just under the back of your head, with your elbows just softly in your peripheral vision. Remember, you're using your abdominals from the base of the breastbone going down to the pubic bone to curl yourself up, not using your neck. So switch off any tension in your jaw and your neck. So take a breath in here. As you breathe out, curl yourself up to the tips of the shoulder blades. Now stay here, breathe in, bring one arm in front of you and then the second arm in front of you. Stay curled up, breathe out, bring one hand behind and the other hand behind. An extra curl up from your abdominals as you breathe in and then breathe out to use those abdominals to lower you back onto the mat. Remember to alternate the arm that you salute with when we come back for the next one. So take a breath in. Breathe out, pulling in your core, curl yourself up to the tips of the shoulder blades. Breathing in, the second arm, breathing out, one arm, second arm, extra curl up as you breathe in, and then curling back down on an out breath using your abdominals. Breathing in, breathing out, curl yourself up. Breathing in one arm and then the other, breathing out one hand back, don't dip as the second hand goes back, breathe in, extra curl up, use those abdominals, not your neck, and then curl yourself back down. Take a breath in, breathe out, curl yourself up, stay curled up from your abdominals, breathing in one arm, breathing in the second arm, breathing out one arm back and the next arm, extra curl up, breathing in, breathing out, curl back down. We'll do two more. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, curl yourself up. Breathing in one arm and then the next. Breathing out one hand back, then the next. Extra curl up from those abdominals. Keep the abdominals pulled in as you curl back down. Take a breath in. Breathe out, curl yourself up. Breathing in one arm and the next, breathing out one hand back, stay curled up as the next hand goes back up, and then breathing in, extra curl up, breathe out, curl back down, and now release your arms back by your side. So come onto your side and we're going to do the side legs. So get your little head cushion. If it's one of these cushions, then fold it in half, but if you've got a cushion from the sofa, then get whatever cushion allows your neck to stay on a line with your spine. And you're going to place the cushion between your underneath arm and your ear. And you're going to have your legs in chair position. So you're going to lengthen the top hip away so that you've got a nice little gap between your waist and the mat. You're not sinking here in this side of the waist or underneath. And then your starting position is with your top leg in line with your spine at hip height, and always have that sense of reaching through the heel to stretch this leg away and keep nice and long in the waist. It also keeps this waist long under here as well. So as you take your leg up, you're not collapsing back down. So you have that sense of lengthening through the leg, both as you take the leg up and as you bring the leg back in line with the hip. So get into your starting position here, shoulders stay relaxed. You can either have your hand between the mat and your waist to check that you don't sink in there, or just rest your fingertips on the floor here. So we're going to breathe in to start taking the leg up. So breathe out first of all and stabilize the core. Breathe in to stretch your leg away as you bring it above the hip, and keep stretching it away as you bring it back in line with the hip. And breathe in to take your leg up, and breathe out to bring back to hip height. Breathe in to take up, breathe out to come back down. That's 3. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, keep your shoulders relaxed, breathing out, and 1 more, breathing in and breathing out to hip height. Now keep the leg at hip height, keep the foot flexed, and you draw the leg forward, so you're taking the heel away from the sit bone. Your pelvis and back stay where they are, so you're not coming forward, you're keeping long in the waist here, and then point your foot and use your hamstring to draw the leg back. Make sure it's in line with the spine, so you really open out across the front of the hip here. Flex before you go forward, stretching that leg forward, and point to bring the leg back. So nothing changes in your upper body. Breathing in and breathing out. You're just isolating this leg. Breathing in and breathing out. 2 more. Breathing in and breathing out. And 1 more. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now just have a rest there, and then we're going to do some circles. So go back to your starting position. This time your foot is pointed, the leg is in line with the spine at hip height. Keep stretching that leg away from the hip, and you're going to do some little circles between your hip and the floor. So go in front of your body, down to the floor, and behind your body and up to hip height. So you're circling, keep going, you're circling this thigh bone in the hip socket. That's 3 and 4, we'll do 1 more, and 5. And then reverse, go behind, down to the floor, along the floor in front of the body and up to hip height. That's 2, 3, keep pulling in your core, 4 and 5. Well done. Now bring this top knee onto the floor. You can either be on the floor on a cushion or on a cushion, and lengthen your underneath leg away in line with your spine. We'll start with the foot pointed. You're going to be using all your inner thigh muscles, so from the inside of the knee all the way up the inside thigh. So lengthen as you lift that leg off the mat, and it's going to stay off the mat now till we've finished. Keeping the legs straight, lift the legs until the upper inner thighs are squeezing together. And 2. Don't put any weight through your top hand here. 3 and 4, 5, 6. We'll do 2 more. 7 and 8. The foot isn't actually resting on the floor each time or on the mat. Now flex your foot and lift from the inside of the heel. Lift and squeeze 1. Really squeeze those inner thighs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep the legs straight. 2 more. 7, and lift and squeeze for 8. Well done. So rest that leg back on the floor, and now bring both your legs into chair position, and we'll do the side quad stretch. Again, keep nice and long in the top waist here, tummy in. Bring your knee towards your chest so you can reach the front of your ankle, and make sure the knee doesn't go above the hip as you draw your heel round to your buttocks, and have that sense of your knee lengthening away from you. So keep your shoulders relaxed, the hip bones forward, tummy in, and just take the knee back. You're aiming for a straight line from the front of your body down the front of your thigh. Now, if you haven't done any stretches here for a while, it might be very tight. If it's very tight, you can always release it forward a little bit and then draw the knee back without any arching in your back. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your knee lengthening away from you. And use your breath to get a nice stretch in here, in this muscle, across the front of the thigh here. And also get a good stretch in your knee as well. So it's very good to stretch out the knee and the quad. A lot of knee problems come from very tight quads, so keep your quads stretched out. Couple more breaths here. And then slowly release that. Great, so that's that side down. So come up, and we're going to go on to the other side. come on to your hip. Take your cushion between your underneath arm and your ear. Get your spine nice and straight. Lengthen that top hip away, legs in chair position, tummy in, shoulders relaxed, and then take that top leg back in line with the spine at hip height. The foot is flexed. Reach through that heel, reach through to the end walls, lengthening this hip away. Nice little space here. So breathe in and breathe out and stabilize, and then breathe in to bring the leg above the hip, breathe out to lower to hip height. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in to lift and lower to hip height. That's 4, 5. One more, lengthening both as you lift and as you lower. Keep that leg at hip height, and then bring the foot forward, or the leg forward with the foot flexed, reaching the heel from the sit bone. Point and lengthen the leg as you draw it back in line with the spine, making sure you're nice and open here. Flex to come forward and point to come back. Flex to go forward. So nothing changes in the upper body, you're isolating that leg. Flex to come forward, point to come back. So reaching through the heel, 2 more, point to come back. Flex to go forward and point to come back. And have a brief rest. So you should be feeling it in the buttocks here, hopefully. So now we'll do the circles. So come back to that starting position. The foot is pointed this time, the leg lengthening away, the hip lengthening away here. And we'll do, I think we did 5 on the last side, so we'll do 5 on this side. So you're going to go down to the floor, equidistance in front and behind the body. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5, and reverse. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and now rest. Either rest this knee on the floor in front of you or get a cushion, whichever you feel comfortable. Lengthen your underneath leg back in line with your spine. Your foot is pointed. Just take the leg just off the mat, and then keeping the leg straight, lift and squeeze. So your upper inner thighs squeeze together, lifting from the inside of the knee all the way up the inside thigh. That's 4. And lengthen as you lift and as you lower. 5. You're not using this top hand for support. 7 and 8. Now flex the foot and lift. 1. Lifting from the inside of the heel. 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, really squeeze, use those inside side thighs, and 8. Great, well done. So come back into chair position, both your legs in chair position, and we'll do a quad stretch on the top knee. So bring the knee to the chest, reach the front of your ankle, and draw that leg around. So hips stay forward, tummy stays in, no arching in your back, heel towards your buttock, lengthen that knee away, relax the shoulders, and get a good stretch. So again, try and keep relaxed in the body so the tension has a chance to let go. If it's very strong, remember you can release the knee and then draw back, but try and make sure the knee doesn't come above the hip, tummy stays in, hips stay to the front. Couple more breaths here. Lengthening that knee away from your body and then carefully release. Well done, very good. We're going to do the diamond press now. So you're going to come and lie on your front, and remember that whenever you lie on your front, you don't lie with your ribs squashed up to your chest. So make sure you've got your ribs lengthened away from you so you're nice and open across your chest. Your legs are straight up behind you, hip width, and they're neither turned in nor turned out, and have your fingertips underneath your forehead, and find that position that you feel nice and open across the chest and collarbone, so you're not scrunched in here. So it doesn't matter if your fingertips aren't touching, just find the position where you feel nice and open. So relaxing your shoulders away from your ears, you're going to use the muscles between your shoulder blades to lift your chest away from the mat, and your head and neck will come up with you, but you don't move those independently. So take a breath in, relax the shoulders away from your ears. And as you breathe out, pull in your core and use the muscles between your shoulder blades and just lift your chest away from the mat. You're not putting any weight through your arms, you're just using the muscles at your back. Stay here as you breathe in, keeping your tummy pulled in, and then use those same muscles to lower your chest back down onto the mat. So it's not a very big movement, and when you bring your chest away from the mat, have that sense of lengthening your spine away from the pelvis. So breathe in, relax the shoulders away from your ears. Breathe out, pull in your core and bring your chest up and lengthen your spine from the pelvis. Shoulders staying relaxed. Take a breath in here and breathe out, lower your chest back down to the floor. So it's really isolating that very small group of muscles between the shoulder blades, and you shouldn't feel anything in your lower back. If you do, pull in your core a little bit more and have that sense of lengthening your spine from the pelvis. So breathing in, breathing out, pull in your core, lengthen and lift the chest away from the mat. Take a breath in here and still lengthen the spine from the pelvis as you lower your chest to the floor. Breathing in with shoulders away from your ears. Breathe out, pull in your core and lift the chest away. You should feel those muscles between the shoulder blades working. Stay here as you breathe in, keep your core pulled in, and then lengthen yourself back down onto the mat. We'll do 2 more. It's a very subtle exercise this. Take a breath in. Breathe out, always pulling in the core. Lengthen your spine as you bring your chest away. The neck and the head staying on a line with the spine. They're not moving independently. Hold it here as you breathe in and then use those muscles between the shoulder blades to lower yourself back down. And 1 more. Breathing in. Breathing out, pull in the core. Lift the chest away from the mat. Stay here as you breathe in. And then pull in your core all the time as you lower and lengthen the spine back down onto the mat. That's great. Well done. So hopefully you felt the muscles between here working. You also feel the other muscles working as well, but your primary focus is on using these muscles. So let's do the dart now. And so get your little head cushion back again. And you're going to put your forehead on that. You're going to have your toes together and your heels relaxed apart, and your arms are going to be by your side with your palms facing up. Now just a quick reminder before we start, your legs are going to stay on the mat, and as you bring your chest off the mat, always have that sense of lengthening your spine away from the pelvis. There's never any compression going down into your lower back. So you shouldn't feel any discomfort in your lower back, you just feel all the muscles down the side of your back working. So if you do, just pull in your core a little bit more and have that sense of length, and don't think about coming up too high. Sometimes people come up too high and then they put it all in their lower back. So, starting position, forehead on the mat. So relax your legs apart so there's no tension in your buttocks, your arms are relaxed, palms facing up. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull in your core, squeeze your legs together, rotate your arms and lift your chest off the mat. Stay here breathing in, thinking of your spine lengthening away from your pelvis. And as you breathe out, keep your core engaged, lower your chest, relax your legs, relax your arms. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull in your core, squeeze your legs, rotate your arms and lift your chest off the mat. Now with your arms are lengthened by your side, but don't really lock your elbows. So have your elbows soft, palms away from your body, away from the mat. And then as you breathe out, pull in your core again and lower yourself back down. Take a breath in. Breathe out, engaging your core, squeezing your legs, rotating your arms and lengthening your chest up and away. So your spine is lengthening from the pelvis. Your neck and head stay in line with the spine. Staying here as you're breathing in, keeping the core engaged and lowering your chest, relaxing your legs, relax your arms. Take a breath in. Breathe out, engaging your core, squeeze those legs, rotate your arms and bring your chest off the mat. Stay here breathing in, really squeeze the ankles, squeeze the inner thighs, draw your arms by your side and then keeping your core engaged, lower your chest to the floor, relax your legs and relax your arms. We'll do one more. So take a breath in, breathe out, pull in your core, squeeze your legs, rotate your arms and lift your chest. The spine lengthening up and away, holding it here as you're breathing in, breathing out, relaxing your legs and your arms as you lower your chest onto the floor. So now push yourself up and come in to 4-point kneeling position, and we're going to do the tabletop. Last week we just did the legs and we're going to introduce the arms this time. But just take a moment here to think about your tabletop position. So the hip is directly above the knee. You've got a nice long back and your wrists are directly below your shoulders. You're neither sinking here or arching your back. So come into neutral pelvis where you can just put a little spoonful of water in your lower back. The neck in line with the spine, so the neck isn't dropped back down. And all the time pulling in around your core, around your waist. So we'll do one with just the legs on each side and then we'll introduce the arms. So remember, don't shift to the other side. So we'll start with the left leg. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull in your core. Don't shift onto the right as you take the left leg away and lengthen and lift that leg. Stay here as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, drop that leg to the floor, keeping it straight, and then draw the knee back under the hip. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, really pulling in your core. Don't shift your weight and lengthen the right leg away. Keep it straight and then lengthen and lift from underneath the leg to bring it in line with the spine. Stay here as you breathe in and then drop that leg back down and bend the knee back under the hip. So we'll go back to the left leg and now we'll do the right arm. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, lengthen the left leg and the right arm until they're both stretched, and then lengthen and lift them in line with your spine. Stay here as you breathe in, keep your tummy pulled in, and then drop down to the floor, keeping them straight, and then bend them back into position. Take a breath in, breathe out, pull in the core, shoulders always stay away from the ears, slide the right leg and the left arm, and then lengthen as you lift them up in line with your body, or as much as you can. Stay here as you breathe in, being really strong in your supporting arm and shoulder, and then drop down and come back into your 4-point kneeling position. We're going to do one more on each side. If your wrists are really hurting, then come off and do a few wrist circles and rejoin. So take a breath in, breathe out, pull in the core, don't shift the weight. Your left leg, right arm, lengthen along the mat and then lift. So not sinking into your supporting arm, pulling in your core, and then come back down and come back to your starting position. Take a breath in, breathe out, pull in the core, slide your right leg and your left arm, and then lengthen and lift. Stay here for a breath in, and then breathe out, drop your legs down, your arm down, and come back into your 4-point kneeling position. So from here, keep your knees wide and bring your feet together, and take your knees a bit wider, and drop your bottom back down towards your heels, and rest your forehead either on the mat or on a cushion. Your arms can be reached up above your head, or if you find that very uncomfortable, it gives a good stretch, but if you don't like it, you can bring your arms by your side. Now, it doesn't matter if you can't actually get your bottom towards your heels, but just have that sense of relaxing your bottom towards your heels. So I take a couple of breaths in here, focusing your breath into the back of the rib cage, and then getting your nice stretch in your spine as your rib cage expands. And then on your next out breath, pulling in your core, either come into high kneeling or come to staying sitting on your heels, restacking your spine from the base upwards until you've got a nice tall spine again. So we'll finish with the leg stretches with a band. So get your band to hand. We'll do the same stretches as we did last week, but I'm going to add a couple more this time. So get your head cushion as well and come to lying on your back. Get yourself in the relaxation position. So your feet and knees hip width apart. pelvis in neutral. And we'll start with the left leg. So take your band, one end in each hand, and wrap it around the ball of the foot and a little bit of the toes. It helps give you a little bit more of a stretch. So starting with the leg above the hip, the foot is flexed. The elbows are relaxed on the mat, so you're not bringing any tension into your shoulders. And bring the stretch up as much as you possibly want without it being too strong. So remember, keep straight behind the knee. So if it's too strong, if you have to bend your knee by having it above the hip, then take the leg a little bit lower, but use the band to help you. Have that sense of your heel reaching away, your toes down towards your chest, and using your breath to help stretch and relax into here. So this stretch we did last week, and now we're going to add a different stretch. So just from the outside of the ankle, turn the sole of your foot inwards. So you're not turning right from the whole of the top of the leg, but from the ankle. And you often get a really good stretch down the outside of your shin here. So the sole of the foot is turned inwards. I'll hold this for a few breaths. Nice stretch on the outside of the ankle as well. And then bring your foot back to its starting position. Now take both ends of your band in your left hand. Remember, fingers on top, thumb underneath to help keep your wrist alignment. Point your left foot and take the left leg out to the side away from you. You can relax the right knee out a little bit to help counterbalance the pelvis. You will lose neutral pelvis to a certain extent here, but at least this stops you rolling onto your side. So keep the left foot pointed, turn the left leg out slightly from the top of the thigh and get a nice stretch on the inside of your thigh. Watch your wrist alignment here, so the back of your hands on the same line as the back of your forearm, so you're not putting any pressure through your wrist. It keeps any pressure away from there. Now if you want to take this stretch a bit further, you can bring your foot up towards your shoulder a little bit more, but keep the shoulders relaxed and just isolate that stretch to the inside thigh. And again, always using your breath. Your breath is fantastic at helping to release tension. It's no good being tense. The muscles won't get the message to switch off. So one more breath here, and then pull in your core. Bend your knees slightly to bring it back above the hip, so to protect your back, and then straighten your leg again. Bring your right knee back up, and now take both ends of your band into your right hand, fingers on top. The foot is flexed again, and we did this stretch last week, where you bring the leg across the body without bringing the hip off very much at all. So it's quite a strong stretch. So just try and isolate the leg across the body without the hip coming off. Keeping straight behind the knee, lengthening through the heel, toes towards you. And again, this can be a really strong stretch. So really use your breath, try and keep relaxed into it, and don't take it so far that it's too strong and you're tensing up. So hopefully after a couple of breaths or a few breaths, it doesn't feel quite so intense. And then if you now want to take this further, we didn't do this one last week, you can now let the left hip come off. Relax the right knee out to the side and take the leg and hip over, but keep this left shoulder relaxed on the mat. So you're not rolling onto your side, but you're bringing the hip over and the leg over. And then again, watch your wrist alignment on your right hand. Keep straight behind the leg and really use your breath if it's very strong here. Heel reaching away, toes towards you. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Now, it's very easy to subtly hold on to the tension here. So just try and relax in your hip, relax in the leg, let the band take all the weight. Just relax your body here. Another couple of breaths. And then to come back to the center, pull in your core, bend your knee towards your chest and get your back onto the mat from the top of the back down. So you're never arching your back until your left leg is back above the hip. Take both ends of the band back in both hands, and now bring your right foot up in midair over the ball of the foot and the base of the toes, and drop your left leg back down, making sure it's back in line with the left knee, pelvis back in neutral. And now we'll stretch the right leg. So elbows back on the mat, so you keep nice and relaxed. No tension coming into your shoulders. Keep straight behind the leg. Encourage that leg a little bit further above the hip. The heel lengthening away, toes towards you. Breathing into the stretch. So you want to hold these stretches for a good few breaths. Keeping straight behind the knee. And then we'll turn the sole of the foot in, so from the outside of the ankle, not necessarily the whole of the leg. So the upper part of the leg stays the same. And now get a nice stretch on the outside of your right shin. Keeping that leg above the hip. If you wanted to take the stretch a little bit further, you can bring that right leg just an inch or so across the body, not very far. Stay here for another couple of breaths. And then bring the foot back to your starting position. Take both ends of your band into your right hand, fingers on top, thumb below. Point your right foot and point and take the leg out to the side away from you, relaxing this left knee out a bit to help counterbalance the pelvis. Turn the right leg out from the top of the thigh and get a stretch on the inside of your thigh. To take the stretch a bit further, you can bring that foot a little bit further up towards your shoulder, your right shoulder. Just relax into this for a few breaths. So keep your shoulders relaxed. A nice stretch on the inside of the thigh. One more breath, and then coming back, pulling in your core, bend your knees slightly to bring that leg back above the hip, and then straighten it again. Flex the foot once more, take the both ends of the band into your left hand, fingers on top, thumb below, your right arm on the floor, and then bring your left leg across your body without bringing up, your right leg across the body, without bringing off the right hip. Be straight behind the knee. Reach away through the heel, the toes towards you. And this is very strong, so just relax into this for a few breaths. You can keep that stretch there if that's strong enough, but if you want to take it a bit more, relax your left knee out to the side, and now you can bring that right hip off. Bring the right leg over, but keep the right shoulder where it is on the mat. Foot stays flexed, straight behind the knee, reaching away through the heel, toes towards you, watching your wrist alignment on the left. We're going to keep all the tension out of your face, your jaw, your shoulders, and use your breath to relax into here. So use the band to support your foot, so you get a good stretch and let go of any tension here. Get a really good stretch in that right hip. So we'll stay here for a few more breaths. Keep reaching away through the heel. And then come back on your next out breath, pull in your core, bend your knee to your chest, get your back onto the mat to come back to the center. Now take your band away and drop your foot back down onto the floor, back into your relaxation position. So well done everyone, that's another nice routine. So week 5, we've recapped over some of the things that we did before, and we've added on a few extra things.